Narrated Aisha. Allah's Messenger said, "If any one of you feels drowsy while praying, he should go to bed, sleep till his slumber is over, because in praying, while drowsy, one does not know whether one is asking for forgiveness or for a bad thing for oneself." Narrated Anas. The Prophet said, "If any one of you feels drowsy while praying, he should sleep till he understands what he is saying reciting." Narrated Amr bin Amir. Tanis said, the Prophet used to perform ablution for every prayer. I asked Anas, "What did you use to do?" Anas replied, "We used to pray with the same ablution until we break it with Hadith." Narrated Suwaid bin Newman. In the year of the conquest of Habar, I went with Allah's Messenger till we reached As-Saba, where Allah's Messenger led the Asr prayer and asked for the food. Nothing but soik was brought, and we ate it and drank water. The Prophet got up for the Maghrib prayer, rinsed his mouth with water, and then led the prayer without repeating the ablution. Narrated Ibn Abbas. Once the Prophet, while passing through one of the graveyards of Medina or Mecca, heard the voices of two persons who were being tortured in their graves. The Prophet said, "These two persons are being tortured not for a major sin to avoid." The Prophet then added, "Yes, they are being tortured for a major sin. Indeed, one of them never saved himself from being soiled with his urine, while the other used to go about with calumnies to make enmity between friends." The Prophet then asked for a green leaf of a date palm tree, broke it into two pieces, and put one on each grave. On being asked why he had done so, he replied, "I hope that their torture might be lessened till these get dry." Narrated Anas bin Malik. Whenever the Prophet went to answer the call of nature, I used to bring water with which he used to clean his private parts. Narrated Ibn Abbas. The Prophet once passed by two graves and said, "These two persons are being tortured not for a major sin to avoid. One of them never saved himself from being soiled with his urine, while the other used to go about with calumnies to make enmity between friends." The Prophet then took a green leaf of a date palm tree, split it into pieces, and fixed one on each grave. They said, "O Allah's Apostle, why have you done so?" He replied, "I hope that their punishment might be lessened till the pieces of the leaf become dry." See the footnote of Hadith 215. Narrated Anas bin Malik. The Prophet saw a Bedouin making water in the mosque and told the people not to disturb him when he finished. The Prophet asked for some water and poured it over the urine. Narrated Abu Huraira. A Bedouin stood up and started making water in the mosque. The people caught him, but the Prophet ordered them to leave him and to pour a bucket or a tumbler of water over the place where he had passed the urine. The Prophet then said, "You have been sent to make things easy and not to make them difficult." Narrated Anas bin Malik. The Prophet said as above 219. Narrated Aisha. The mother of faithful believers, a child was brought to Allah's Messenger, and it urinated on the garment of the Prophet. The Prophet asked for water and poured it over the soiled place. Narrated Qais bit Mizan. I brought my young son, who had not started eating ordinary food, to Allah's Messenger, who took him and made him sit in his lap. The child urinated on the garment of the Prophet, So he asked for water and poured it over the soiled area and did not wash it. Narrated Hadiths. Once the Prophet went to the dumps of some people and passed urine while standing. He then asked for water, and so I brought it to him, and he performed ablution. Narrated Hadiths. The Prophet and I walked till we reached the dumps of some people. He stood as any one of you stands behind a wall and urinated. I went away, but he beckoned me to come. So I approached him and stood near his back till he finished.